morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you listen to us from, straight from the 909. We have a special guest in the building, Jay Casai, and myself, Nesquik, and together, that's hip hop. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really does mean a lot. Today, we're fellowshipping with an artist known for his emotionally honest lyricism and smooth, almost conversational flow, hailing from the Inland Empire. Jay Casai brings a refreshingly introspective and polished style to the West Coast hip-hop scene. With boom-bap sensibilities and modern production, his music often dives deep into themes of mental health, vulnerability, ambition, and resilience, making him a standout storyteller in a genre that often leans into bravado. Whether solo or collaborating with fellow IE artists, Jay Casai maintains a sense of authenticity that resonates with listeners looking for depth and relatability in hip-hop. Kasai's legacy is cemented in his role as a cultural bridge builder within the Inland Empire's growing music scene. He's been instrumental in elevating IE hip-hop on a broader scale. His contributions have helped cultivate a sense of pride and legitimacy for a region often overshadowed by Los Angeles. Jay Kasai's thoughtful approach to artistry and community makes him a key figure in shaping the future of Southern California hip-hop scene from inside out. Nothing short of a god-complex master swordsman, OE, the talented class of a dying breed, Mr. Invincible Jay Casai. Welcome to the show, bro.
Damn, man, that's a crazy closer right there. That was dope. How did you know about the swordsman? Oh, man. Thank you for that. That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you on, man. It's we connected through the Junth event recently in San Bernardino. That was a cool turnout. There was a lot of talented acts that was there. I seen you behind the scenes, kind of making sure everything was good, everything was running. Can you just let me know, like, what because not too long ago we didn't have this. Yeah. Whether it was artists or Juneteenth itself. Mm-hmm. Can you just let me know, like, what does it mean to kind of see this all now in fruition, like coming to pass, like now in San Bernardino, it's happening, like there's a scene now.
Yeah. I mean, I've been a part of the Inland Empire music scene for 15 years now. And I felt like we kind of plateaued a little bit. There's a lot of people who got us to a certain elevation that I thought was amazing, and I benefited from it. You know, I did a lot of shows and stuff like that, but it started to feel like the same shows, and the same events and the same people over and over. And so I recognized, hey, maybe it's time for the people like me who benefited from all that, whoever built that up before me, for me to build upon that, So that's what things like the Juneteenth Festival, where I try to make sure there's a bunch of new people watching these same artists, and those artists who helped me get where I am, give them a new stage with great sound and people there and media and cameras and, someone who's prioritizing the quality of the event and stuff like that. I just want to give people a platform that I wish I had, so.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I mean, I've talked with some artists and, they've all brought up the same thing, like, us having some sort of platform of recognition.
Yeah.
It goes without saying how huge of a deal that is. I don't think many other regions have that at all. Yeah. So you can imagine, like, and all the work that it takes to actually have that.
It's a lot of work.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, it's a lot. How did this organize? Like, how did it start? How did the rumblings start actually coming together and getting organized?
I mean, this predates the award show itself or anything by years. I have a notebook and it's just filled with ideas, and I always build my ideas based off things I see missing in the scene or missing in my life and stuff like that. And it started with, I do a lot of hobbies and stuff. I play tennis, play basketball, I make music, I do film, and I've gotten little awards and recognition for everything I've ever done except music. I was like, I've been doing this 15 years. I haven't even got a participation trophy, like nothing. And I was like, why is that? Like, I think I'm okay at it, So I was like, okay, I think there's a void here, right? And it's, there's not a recognition platform for the arts here at all, So I wrote down in my notebook, like, okay, what would it look like to create that? What would I, as an artist, what would I want it to be and look like and feel like? And what makes an award show legitimate? Like, what makes the recognition something worth being recognized, and, because you can hand out certificates on a stage and say, you're good, you're good.
What gives it weight?
Yeah, what gives it some weight? And scarcity gives it some weight. the trophy itself feeling like a trophy. You know, you don't want something that came out the dollar store.
Right, yeah.
You know, so it's just all these little details, and I'm a detail-oriented person. So step one was find people who are like-minded like me, who care about the scene and care about parts of the scene maybe I'm not involved in or know about. You know, because it's not about who I think's the best.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even get to pick anything. I've created a system where the award show is self-sells itself. You know, it runs itself. And I just make sure the quality and the people show up. You know, that's all I do. And I chose the trophies. You know, I designed the trophy, and it's this heavy-ass glass diamond.
Dang, that's dope.
When you hold it, you go, I won something.
Right.
You know, and you feel it immediately. Yeah. So we film every time an artist gets that trophy in their hand for the first time. They're like, oh. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, and
I mentioned it twice to two artists I've had. I've had Cam Gnarly on here and Sunny Babble. I mentioned it twice to them. And you guys won an award for this track here. So it was like a cool entry point into even talking about their music.
It goes on your resume.
Right.
It's an accolade, you know, and that's important. Like, hey, like for me with my film stuff, I can tell people I'm an award-winning filmmaker.
Right.
It means something, you know, and I can put that on my resume. I can bring that to a room and people go, oh, he's been recognized by someone for something. It doesn't even matter the details. Right? It could have been like I gave myself a certificate, but people take it a little seriously. So, you know, I think that that's really awesome. And it sucks that I can never submit or get an award.
That's what Tangent was saying. Something similar to that. Like, you know, because you guys are involved within it.
Yeah, you would compromise the event and all the recognition would lose its value if you start awarding the people who founded it. You know, so it is what it is. You know, and that's kind of the self-sacrifice of making sure everyone else can have it. And, you know, people have done similar things for me, you know, where, you know, they put their needs aside and help me out with things. So, you know, I'm just paying it forward.
Yeah, that's so dope, man. Yeah. I really love that. I think I can't say it enough, like how grateful I think a lot of people are, a lot of artists are for something like that. You know, it means so much, you know, and so many words that someone can say. I want to talk a little bit about, you know, you're an artist yourself. And I the way I ended up finding you was actually through an interview you did with Sunny Babble, because I was kind of like looking, you know, to kind of see what he's already talked about. Yeah. And so I saw that you had a podcast for the record. Yeah. You know, that was, to me, that was dope. I liked even the lighting was cool. It was different. Yeah. You know, I liked all that. It seemed like you had the aesthetics like it was thought about a little bit. So that was really cool. You would have a screen in the background showing the artist, the music. Can you talk a little bit about For the Record? How did that start and what was that about? You know, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, but once again, it was a void. You know, it was because we didn't have that. You're right. Yeah, it's like, okay, I could probably do media and get someone to talk to me, and whenever I drop an album, I do a media run. So anyone who does interviews, anyone who talks to an artist, I go there, I'll drive there, I'll fly there, and spend some time if they'll accept me. And I found that everywhere I went, it was kind of just these surface level. I didn't feel like I gave who I was to the interview. They didn't do research on me. It was just nonsense, you know? I was like, okay, this isn't actually doing anything. I was like, we need to build something like that. You know, there needs to be a place where I can sit down with an artist and they can really expose and be vulnerable and talk about their music, their craft. And maybe if a person watching has never heard of that person, after it's over, they can make a decision on if they want to become a fan or not, you know? Yeah. So way ahead of your time, dude. I mean, that's essentially kind of what we're doing here. I was just telling my buddy Justin, seeing you do this makes me feel way better about the fact I stopped because someone picked up where I left off, you know? Yeah, so that's cool. I was like, I got to do this show because I wished I had it. Like when I quit doing the awards platform, if someone picked up where I left off, I'd be so happy to submit, you know? And this feels like my submission, you know, like I get to actually participate now. So it's great. Yeah, that's really cool. So I really enjoyed that. And to come to find that was because you were starting an actual like a TV thing, which was much bigger umbrella, right? Yeah. But I think For the Record was like one of those channels. Exactly. It was one show on an actual network. That was the overall plan, where I had a tennis show and it got partnered with Netflix at some point. That's cool. I did For the Record, where I was really just trying to put all my people on from the IE. If you're someone I know is consistent and works hard in the IE, I was going to bring you on. Bottom line. Yeah. So you had Speak Skeek on. Speak Skeek, Noah James, Cam Gnarly, Sunny Babble, Nicholas Gray, who actually hosted Junth Award Show. Cool. He's a music artist. Everyone. Truly. Funny. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah. A ton of people, you know, and the list was supposed to keep going, but, you know, things changed. So I had to end the show. But yeah, that show, I had a show where I was training to play in a tennis tournament, and it was just following me Yeah, you're like a legit tennis player? Oh,
yeah,
I saw the
decent.
music video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
like,
Pete Sampras, yeah.
You did the swings and everything. You were like,
yeah. So, just I was trying to bring other people's shows to it as well.
Yeah.
But, it was one of those things where I ended up putting it to the side and starting other ventures, so.
Yeah. Dude, man in many hats here.
Man.
Yeah, we got Jay Casai with us, sitting in the building today. Let's switch gears, talking a little bit about your music. I'm curious, as an artist, like what your creative process is like when you start a project. Are you thinking of the concept first, or does a track that you just do first kind of inspire you to then write, or how does that usually work for you?
It varies project to project. Some projects I literally write the title and the concept, the story, and then I start making songs to match it. And then there's things like my latest project, Save the City. It's literally, I went to Gosh's house. We hopped on YouTube Live, and we were making one song every hour.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
And
yeah.
Then the project's done. And then I go back in and do light touch-ups, and I don't overthink anything. I just throw it out there.
Yeah.
And you'll notice the level of detail and the lyricism, the content, it's a little more shallow. But the flows, the bounce, the natural feeling is much better because of that. I didn't think too hard. So,
and sometimes it's cool to kind of just have a lightning in a bottle. Like you were in the room, 24 hours, bang it out. Like,
for sure. Cool. And there's a little pressure because Gosh has a fan base watching you make these songs live. So you're like, don't suck, Yeah, it's like, because Gosh is going to be amazing no matter what. Yeah. It's just now, is this rapper going to suck, or is this going to be a good song? Yeah. So a little pressure, but I enjoy that.
You've rapped with some dope artists, dude. I've seen you rap with Daylight on one of your projects. You rapped with Charles Hamilton. Yeah. Like, talk about pressure, dude. You're rapping with some of the greats, dude, which says a lot about you and your pen.
Yeah. What's funny is I got some unreleased stuff. I don't even mind saying who they are. Yeah. I've got a record with Sky Zoo. I've got a record with Crooked Eye. Yeah, that's crazy. I've got a record with Blue, Mickey Facts.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, a bunch of guys, and they're all coming out this year. Yeah, all these songs, and I pride myself on my lyricism. I really do. So
if you can hang your hat on something, that for sure. Yeah. To me, if I got a chance to rap with somebody like that, and I could tell, your pen, hearing the track. I'm gonna jump ship here. Hearing the track with you and Daylight.
Oh, Pray For Me.
Yes, Pray For Me. That track is crazy. What album was that on again?
That's on Kasai Tape Volume 3.
Volume 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's right. You said you started off, I think this is like the second verse of yours. I need a steeple, writing, I need a stilo. I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong. I'm just kind of typing it out as I heard it. Trying to find the cheat code, surviving all these people dying from the disease that we are entitled. All is my ego, shit is foul. All these shots is a free throw. Tito's in my drink, though. See me through the peephole. I was just like, dude, making me more relatable. Open doors. I'm away to go, serving food to your cranium. Here's a tip from my anus, though.
Not anus, though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Here's a tip from my haters, though. I was
writing it out.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, that was kind of like, so I typically, when I do features with artists, I do one verse, then they do their verse, not usually in the song there, but that was a record I knew was going to kind of get more attention than most of my songs, so I was like, okay. My first verse, I was like, let me get the Pray For Me content off, and then in my second verse, I was like, let me bring this full circle after. I know Daylight's going to go crazy on this. Yeah, he did. His verse was mind-blowing, so I was like, okay, let me come back full circle and really pin something up that you'll have to read and understand later. And so, that one's, it's dense. It's
the part about seeing you through the people was crazy. I was just like, that's like descriptive. That's like, who thinks of that? Like, seeing you through the people. Thanks, but then you go further, you double down. You go further. I'm taking challenges, powerless to the hours spent. What was the word?
Calluses.
Calluses from the time I've been hanging on from when I was childish. Chalices in the palaces built from bricks of my cowardness, afraid to fail. So let me know that I'm talented. Stepping stones to my wonderland. Let me go where Alice is. That's crazy.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that was in there. And when I stumbled upon that, I was like, whoa, where are we going here? This is sick.
Yeah. That's the nerdy rap side, you know.
You spaz.
Yeah, I don't do that on many songs anymore just because it doesn't get valued as much as it used to. So
well, that's what I'm here for, man.
I appreciate you, man. The fact you're even referencing that verse of that song like that is...
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, I mean, the whole volume thing is sick too. You know, starting from the volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, like all of it, you're going hard. I really liked on volume 1, you know, starting that off, you had samples of like people kind of giving their take a little bit about you at the end of each track. That was kind of cool too. How did that work out? Like did they hear the music and then they said something?
So what I did is I would once the album's like 80% done, I'd invite people over and say, hey, can I play you everything I have so far? And then just have you just say what you felt, what you thought, what you noticed, you know. And what's funny is some of it's almost contradictory what people are saying, you know, like they're almost like, yeah, man, this guy's so lyrically conscious. And, you know, and then I'm like, I play a banger after, you know, and stuff like that. But it was really just because I hadn't dropped a solo project since 2013, and Kasai Volume 1 dropped late 2017. And I was like, okay, how can I get people up to speed faster without having a song where I go, let me get you up to speed on where I've been, you know? So I was like, why don't I just bring people in, make good songs, and then just sprinkle other people catching you up so it sounds more legitimate than me just trying to pitch you who I am now, you know? And so people are like, one guy mixed all his projects he's ever made. He's like, this guy's like the IE Diddy, you know, which aged horribly.
I know.
But
I was like, well, probably not going to mention that one in the intro.
Yeah, but you know, it was just him saying like, hey, this guy's facilitated everything I've done musically, you know. And then the next guy's just like, yo, this guy's like a mix of Drake and J. Cole, you know, like, and I'm like,
it's
this
cool
is awesome.
It's coming from them. It's not even you.
Exactly. I didn't tell them to say anything.
Right, that's their opinion.
You know, and some people are like, this rapper version of him, I don't even know that side of him. You know, I just know him as the homie, you know? And so it's really cool for people to see those layers to me. So
yeah, that is dope.
Yeah.
Definitely that is cool. I mean, I heard a lot of like bars about, you know, hitting the gym, you know, that's pretty cool to kind of see that once in a while in there. Like, I'm still doing it. I'm still pushing weight. So that was kind of cool. But then you also have, you know, you'll have like references to Marvel and stuff like that. Different things that come up that are really cool too that I enjoyed in there. Then you had volume 2, I thought was also dope. You went, you know,
Volume 2 is dark.
Yeah, it's darker. It's a darker,
way darker.
Yeah, darker. But before I get to volume 2, I want to take a sidestep to God Complex. I feel like that one was really special in your discography. Really special. A standout performance from you on that one. The whole thing, all of the tracks, I think.
Yeah.
You know, starting with Secret Fears, very introspective. You know, can you just talk a little bit about God Complex? Like how did that idea form, and then like what took you to that place where it was like, I got to write this album for this?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of my debut as an artist is God's Complex. It's so I wrote a short film, and God's Complex is a film about a guy who basically has an opportunity to be a god, but a god's basically pursuing him, saying you shouldn't have that ability, you know, and the question is, what makes a god, you know? And so the album is essentially me looking inward and going, you know, is this my complex? It's God's Complex is kind of written with an apostrophe as a possessive, like, is it God's complex, meaning it belongs to God, or is it my complex,
crazy.
you know, and
That's
stuff
crazy.
like that.
Okay, that went over my head. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, the film would have made that more obvious because the music doesn't.
Yeah.
But then in the music, it's really just me trying to get people up to speed with what's going on with me in 2013, which is when I wrote that project.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, you know.
Man, you wrote that in 2013. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, and that was a lot of pressure because all my friends, I was making their projects.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone was like, man, when you drop, it's going to be crazy. And I'm like, yo, chill. You know, I don't know about that. You know, like, we're working a lot on your stuff and making it crazy. I don't know if I could do that. So I felt a lot of pressure to put something great together. So that's why there's a lot of collaborations, a lot of long records, a lot of content. And I really took my time with it and won a great production. Because I just felt a lot of pressure from my peers to do something well the first time I dropped. And I thought it was great for the time. You know, like, I thought it was ahead of its time back then, you know?
Yeah, I think it's aged well. Me just listening to it from now.
Yeah.
2013, it's crazy for me to hear. Like, you wrote these lyrics in 2013. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. Different Sides features CJ Wesley on the track, Drew Speech, Stevie Dub.
Yeah.
Some of these guys go way back with you, right?
Way back, yeah.
Can you just talk about those relationships, who these guys are to you? And
Yeah, so the very first group I ever created was the Elite Hip Hop Swordsmen, which is a kind of cheesy rap name, but I'm a diehard Kung Fu movie guy. I'm an anime guy. I'm a all those things.
So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. And I'm a Wu-Tang guy.
Yeah.
So we were flipping Wu-Tang beats, taking Kung Fu samples, and me, Nabian, True Speech, and 3 other guys who I won't waste your time with because they don't even do anything anymore music related. But there were 6 of us, and we made a collective called the Swordsmen. And once that group kind of reached towards its ending where everyone was going off to college and stuff like that, we were like, okay, well, I met Stevie Dub, and he had a group called SNR. And I was like, well, why don't we just merge and create something with us, who were left over? And so we started Dying Breed. And Dying Breed was essentially the people from different sides. Me, True Speech, Stevie Dub, CJ Wesley. We kind of created that little super group.
That's dope.
And I'm the king of bringing all the members together and making a curated song. I love doing that. And I love to not just do a posse cut where we all try to out-rap each other. Yeah. We try to make a song still.
Yeah.
So different sides is, us trying to do like an introspective outward ballad type rap song.
It almost feels like what's the difference between me and you from Dre and Exhibit and all them?
Yeah, exactly.
It almost feels like that.
So that was that group. And obviously that group, we all eventually, some of us parted ways. Speech, I don't think makes music anymore. Stevie Dub went solo, moved to LA, DJs now. He's doing his own thing. Me and CJ continued on and started the next group, which was OE. And OE is Nicholas Gray, Cam Archer, Jay Kasai, CJ Wesley.
Group right there,
and it's just heavy hitting. And that's kind of where things have left off from there. Where now we mostly do solo music, but
it's like Avengers or something.
Yeah, you can catch us together every now and then. We were all actually at the festival at the same time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really dope. The one where I really, and this is the one that made me kind of realize here, the type of lyricist you are, is the godly devilish flow.
Oh man, I was performing that song for years.
That one made me realize, oh, this is the type of artist we're dealing with here. This is, okay. You completely spazzed out on that song.
Thanks, man.
And I mean that in the best way possible, spazzing out.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to repeat some of the lines here. The flow is crazy. Right off the bat is crazy. Look, now this is the godly Gandhi, dropping bodies, top of Rockies, blocking copies, not for softies. Often, I don't know if I wrote this correctly.
Tops
Stocking coffins, cocky, because I got a flow, G to G. Please repeat. The sorry fellows got to go. That's a crazy start, dude. That's a crazy flow. First of all, that's a crazy flow. The fact that the godly Gandhi thing dropping that top of Rocky, damn, dude, this is.
Thanks, man.
And I consider myself kind of like a battle rapper. And I'm hearing this, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then verse 2, because you started off with the godly aspect. Verse 2, you go devilish. Check it. Now this is the devil's level. Bezels yellow, cello mixed with bells of metal, superhuman. Ruthless movement, scooting tunes, abusive music, evil, blazing ganja flow, fire coming out of the stove, prices coming out of the store. Would I get it? God would only know.
Thanks.
Dude, those bars are crazy.
Yeah, I forgot I wrote this stuff. It's been so long. Yeah, man, that was kind of my at that time, that was the song everyone was like, don't come do a show unless you're going to do that song.
Really?
What's funny is Diesel, who was here doing an episode, he was like, he booked me for a show and he was like, don't perform unless you bring godly devilish flow with you. He was like, I love that song.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, thanks, man. So,
yeah.
And what's funny is I shot a video to that song and the video never came out or got done. And I always give other artists crap for when they have a hit or a great record. And I'm like, every day you don't make the video and market that record, you're losing.
Yeah.
And I have one of those, I never pushed it. That was my lightning in a bottle moment back then. And I didn't really capitalize on it.
Yeah.
So you're just reminding me right now
of
how much I did.
Could you still do a music video on it? That's always been a question of mine.
I think so. I think you can. Yeah. I think you can. The artist me is like, that song's so old. That's the old me.
To me, as a new listener, it doesn't sound old.
Yeah.
Me with fresh ears coming into it, it doesn't sound old to me. So I'm wondering, I probably wouldn't even know the difference from when you were doing the video. I don't know.
How many fans did I even have back then? None, so it'd be new to everyone probably today. So you're right. I should.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? My big thing was, because back in the day when we rapped, we made a music video. This was early, I think this was 2006, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
And because I went Christian, I deleted the video. It was on YouTube and everything back in so my homies, they're so upset with me.
You should have privatized it, man.
We did it so well. Yeah. we did it we did it in a day. I edited it in a day. It was legit. The music was fire. And then yeah, dude, I should have privatized it.
Yeah.
My homies always bring that up. They're like, pull out your old computer from the garage or something, like try to find it. I'm like,
yeah,
it's lost cause, dude.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. But man, I really I enjoyed listening to that. Volume 3 was interesting because there lies an underlining story here. You know, an experience you had almost. I kind of think it was like life or death, though. It's
like a near-death experience,
yeah, near-death experience.
For sure.
I know it was. I mean, obviously the cover shows, you know, a man falling. So I mean, it's a metaphor for you falling, right?
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit about that experience and, you know, what did that like after that happening? Like, what was your thoughts, you know, on the next project in regards to that?
Yeah. It broke my Kasai tape trilogy pattern, which was like, put a bunch of different styles together and then lace it up with sprinkles of people talking about how cool I am or whatever. And just, my goal was to make a trilogy of those mixtapes. That way people had a way to get to know me currently, then drop an album. And then that incident happened and I was like, yeah, I'm writing about this incident. Like all I could think about was what happened.
Yeah.
So every song I made, somehow the pin would fall back into something about falling. I was like, this is just the project's new concept. It just changed it. So didn't do any interviews really. Like everything kind of shifted closer to, even the songs that aren't about falling are about falling metaphorically or near-death experiences metaphorically and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, Pray For Me, you know, is from that. Catch Me is from that. I Feel Like Falling. Every song's, even the titles they cater towards that. And it's a concept about, you know, coming close to something. So yeah, it's a really special project. To me, it's my most cohesive, well-made project. Everyone else disagrees. People pick Kasai Tape 2, God's Complex.
Yeah.
But I love Volume 3. It's my personal favorite.
Yeah, I think the metaphor and how you turned or channeled that, you know, into something, you know, meaningful is like crazy, you know, because you had talked about, like, you had, I'm paraphrasing, but like you had pride, you had ego, you were climbing this ambition, and then yet you fall, you know, and like kind of like starting kind of over, but like that was kind of crazy, that metaphor. Not only did you physically, but you're like, okay, now my whole concept of my approach, you know, I was working so hard for this to obtain this, and falling, like that concept is crazy. I thought it was like really brilliant the way you pinned that. Yeah, I thought that was brilliant.
All the hooks are even, you know, like the very first song, I've been climbing up so long I might fall. You know, it's, you know, if you work too hard, that's the result. You can get burnout, right? Or, you know, or the higher you elevate, the longer the fall would be, you know, and stuff like that. So other songs on there, you know, I'm talking about climbing up in like fight or flight, basically, right? Like, you know, you're in the air. Are you going to fly or are you going to crash down, you know, and what these moments really mean. And taking a leap of faith is also kind of a theme in it, you know, and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's a lot of meaning in it, a lot of layers.
Yeah, I thought it was really dope. And then you have Sonny Bevel also featuring on this as well. I thought that was the Dame Time.
Yeah, Dame Time.
Dame Time was also a pretty dope one. You started off crazy again, dude. This is from your verse on verse 1. They worry if I got the best verses. Yeah, they worried if I got the best verses, less worth of turning gun 'em like a Western. Chest hurts because I stay on the bench. I mean, I really don't play till the game got to end. I thought that was crazy.
Thanks, man.
Like you're just
snapped
like
on that
them,
verse.
you're just giving them kind of whatever until it's game time.
Yeah,
it's game time now.
Yeah,
that I thought was sick. Repping long, catch a palm. I've been involved. I've been getting strong. Weapons gone. Got the reps. I'm on. Sorry, man. It's just hard reading this, like very complex rhyme scheme here. I got him dead and armed. Chef and bars. Got a couple with me trying to get involved. Weapons down. Got a blade long like Sephiroth. Sephiroth. Who is?
Sephiroth is so from Final Fantasy VII. Everyone knows Cloud.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But his enemy is Sephiroth, who's got a katana that's like 7 or 8 feet long. You know, so crazy. It's just a reference to that.
That's dope. Yeah. I like that. That's sick. Yeah, I like that fact that it's like that, like nerd deep. Like you have to really know.
You sprinkle in, you know, like it's gritty. It sounds like just a street verse, right. But if you step back, it's, you know, a 5-0 reference from a Disney movie, Sephiroth from a video game, you know, and dope. A tennis reference. You know, the verse is sprinkled with all my hobbies and interests, you know.
That's dope.
But I try to cover it and glaze it with grittiness and, some street shit. So, yeah, it's some San Bernardino nerd music is the best way to put it.
Can you talk a little bit about, because Sonny Babel, I think since he was younger as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Can you just talk a little bit about, what you've seen from him and just how you see his growth?
Yeah, for sure. I knew Sonny Babel because I knew his dad. I had a relationship with his dad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
His dad, I met him at a show when I first came to the scene, and his dad was one of the few people who was just like very welcoming to people in the scene. You know, he had his own thing, he had his own machine going, and he was like very open to people and receptive to people, so I was cool with him. And I didn't really care about Sonny. He was a kid to me. So I was like, not worried about him. And when I saw him, it was always love and stuff, but I was more of a friend of his dad at the time. And then his dad ended up passing. I actually wrote a song about that. I never released it.
That's crazy. Okay.
I performed it one time at a show Sonny was at just so he could hear it. But, but then there was a lot of drama because Sonny's dad had a label, and there's a lot of, I don't even know all the details of that, and I won't go into it. But long story short, Sonny kind of ended up a lone wolf. He was kind of on his own, making music by himself without a team. And I heard his first project he did by himself, and I was like, this is really good. Like, is anyone helping this guy? Like, this guy's really good. And so I reached out to him, and I was just like, hey, I noticed, you're putting in work. Like, what do you need? What do you have going on? Can I help you in any way? And that's kind of how Dame Time happened. Just out of me reaching out to him and just looking out for him and saying like, well, let's package up a single. Let's get a video done. Let's get you in the lab.
The video's dope too.
Yeah, and that's a video where I shot and edited the video myself, dope. And my buddy GQ helped out actually with the shooting. But and from there we made Dame Time. Dame Time just went. Like, Dame Time is the only song on Kasai Tape 3 that's not about falling. It just had to get put on the project. It bullied itself onto the track list because it had to get put out somehow. So I put it on volume 3. And Dame Time turned into, we did a couple other records together that are out, and then now we have a whole album together that's not out, crazy. And we just have a really, really great working relationship now, and we're actual friends and stuff. So yeah, me and Sonny are closer now than we've ever been. I'm closer to him than I ever was to his dad, because we connected in a different way. So we'll probably always work together. Even his camp that's under him now, I work with them closely. So I have records with Steve-O and Second Sense and JBJ and all those guys. So yeah, we go deep now.
Yeah, that's one of the compliments that I've heard people say about you is that you're always putting them onto some underground people that they haven't ever heard. Like, your ears are to the ground. Yeah. Which is really crazy because usually as an artist, you kind of listen to your own stuff. You're not really, people get lazy to listen to other people's music. Yeah. So that's also, can you talk a little bit to that?
I'm a fan first. I love to hear nothing makes me happier than hearing another local act that just makes some good music. Or hearing someone who's right on the cusp and I know what they're missing. Yeah. And giving them a call. You're like, hey, this is what you need. Like, can I help you do it? That's kind of what I did with a lot of artists locally, or how I've started some of my groups. Yeah. I'm like, hey, your music's awesome. You need videos. Let's work together. Hey, you need hooks. You need an engineer. I engineered all my music you've ever heard. It's all I recorded at home and did it all myself. So I love helping facilitate and get everyone up to speed together because so many people have raw talent.
Super important too, because it's hard for some people to be honest with other artists. That's hard. I've seen you be honest with a couple of artists on the show as well.
Yeah, and I try to dial back on it because I have all my opinions, and some people I know well enough that I can say those things. Like on the first season of For the Record, I was yelling at Phantom Thread like, put your music out, get it mixed, drop it on all the streaming platforms. What are you doing?
Like
we never even dropped it. We never dropped that interview, but I remember Phantom was just laughing. He's like, dude, like, I'm trying, like, relax.
You were like Joe Budden.
Literally.
Yelling at Lil Yachty.
Yeah. Well, it's just like people like Phantom Thread, for example. I think he has it all. Yeah. He's got a crazy story on top of that.
Yeah. So you were just kind of pushing him.
I'm just saying, like, all you need to do is make it available. Right. You're amazing.
Let everybody hear this.
Yeah, because he was very enigmatic and I'm mysterious. I'm an artist. And you can only find it on Bandcamp for $30. I'm like, dude, make something for free. Yeah. Make something for people who don't know you to learn, and then they can go get the $30 album or whatever, you know. But give people something to grab onto. Right. And I think he was already going to do that, but as a fan, I had to yell it at him too, you know? So thankfully now he's dropping everything. He's consistent and he's amazing. He's one of my favorite artists. So yeah, it's good to see all these different people. And I mean, I love listening to music. I don't care if you're famous. I don't care what your following is. I collaborate with everyone. Yeah. I work with everyone. I've worked with people who are signed major artists, million followers. Yeah. I've worked with people who have nothing. No one knows who they are. No one cares about them. If I like it, I don't care.
That's crazy.
So that's just how I operate.
Yeah, that's really crazy. You know, also what was crazy was the story of you reaching out to Charles Hamilton.
Yeah.
Him coming through, you doing 2 records with them and an interview. To me, that was like, how did that just happen? Like, it's
random.
Yeah. Can you just talk about your experience with that? I know you talked about it before.
Yeah.
But just for those who haven't heard of the story, it's a pretty crazy story.
So I'm a huge Charles Hamilton fan.
Yeah, that dude's dope.
Yeah. And he's misunderstood. And I feel like I'm really good with interviews of making someone understood, you know? So
it was a great interview, by the way.
Yeah. So I hit him up and I was just like, he posted online, or no, he responded to someone and they said, I'd love to interview you. And he said, let's set it up. And I was like,
that's crazy.
And I clicked on the person who asked and I was like, them? Really? Like, I could do it better than them. So I hit him up like, let's really do this. Let's actually do this for real.
Setting,
let's really do this. And I don't need to even do research. I know your catalog. I know everything you've done. You know, I've kept up.
Yeah, I was going to say, for it being on the spot,
I didn't know preparation.
Yeah, for interviews, usually it takes preparation, but that says you knew him already.
Yeah. So he, long story short, I won't give all the details out, but he said, yeah, let's do it. Let's meet up. And he needed me to come to LA to make it happen. Fortunately, one of my closest friends has a studio in LA, Oh Gosh. So I called Oh Gosh and I was like, I need your studio, please, dude. Let me just borrow it. He was like, yeah, I'm going to leave. He left, he stepped out and let me use it, and
peace to him for that.
And so when I first got there, me, Oh Gosh, and Charles Hamilton just made a couple records. Oh Gosh makes the beat in 15 minutes, walks away. It's a hit, That's how good he is. Charles Hamilton literally just, I'm ready. Gets up, lays the verse. I'm like, what? I'm like writing in my phone as fast as I can. He's like a computer up here.
He's like Dr. Strange, just like.
Literally, like he was emotionless and then gets up and lays everything he laid. Then we do a second record. He gives me a hook and a verse.
Yeah.
And it's about it's
about you kind of like.
It's from a concept album I'm doing where he's on point with the concept where I'm like, this guy's crazy.
Is that the, what was that track? Right Gear? Is that
Right Gear? Was just the Lucy.
Oh, that was the Lucy one. Okay.
Yeah, we made that song literally in 45 minutes.
And that's crazy because that was a dope track.
It came out so good.
That was a dope track.
And fortunately, that was back when I was writing every day. So my pen was just there. And Charles Hamilton's, he's built for it. He's made for it. So he's good.
You could tell, like, the dude just felt so loose with it. Like, it was crazy. And then you too, for you, you're writing with Charles Hamilton is like known to be that guy, like that lyricist guy. For you also to be like matching that is crazy.
Yeah. Trust me. That's why I told him, I was like, I'm just going to punch and get technical. And that way I can stay afloat in this song and not get drowned out by Charles Hamilton. Cause I'd hate that. So,
right.
And then we made an actual real content record for my upcoming album. So that'll come out later.
That's sick.
And then after that, we sat down and he had a time limit. So for the rest of the time, we just did the interview. And we sat down and just discussed everything I've ever wanted to ask him, which is like, why are you so out there, but also so in there? You're on this weird spectrum of confusion for people, but somehow he knows how to put all this chaos into something beautiful. And I find it so interesting because I'm the opposite. I'm super organized, super detailed. It has to be super sensical for me to do it and be a part of it. And he just sits back. I'm ready, and the way he was trying to get me to make the songs, I was like, no, I can't operate that way.
What do you mean? Like he's trying to get you to freestyle?
He didn't want me to, he didn't want me to write anything. He wanted me to just feel it and just all this. I was like, dude, I don't work that way. I've been making music a certain way for 15 years. I know how to freestyle. I don't do it for songs. I when I write super fast, that's essentially me freestyling and course correcting as I write. That's the best I can offer. So I don't know how he does it. So you know, to him and the Jay-Z's and all these people who can make music that way, you know, kudos to them. But my brain
peace
doesn't
for you
work
for
that
also
way.
standing your ground on that too. Because
if I'm gonna put it out, I have to.
Right? Yeah.
We did make one song his way. It will never see the light of day. It's so he sounds fine. I'm terrible on it. So
and he's probably, you know, so used to doing that. So to him, it's just like nothing to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for you, it's like the first time doing that. So it's like,
I'm not going to waste this moment with him in the studio. Yeah. What's cool, funny now is now we're cool. Like he just randomly calls me sometimes. Yo, what's up? I'm like, nothing. What's up? I was just checking on you.
That's cool.
Okay. Like this is kind of cool, you know? So like we're cool now. We got a good relationship.
You know, what's funny is we recently got in contact with Mos Def's stepbrother. And that dude is so cool. And he was just like, what's up, family? What's up, champion? And I'm like, dude, this is Mos Def's brother. That's weird.
Random, yeah.
It's so crazy, you know? But he'd be like, yeah, we got to get another interview going, champion. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
That's dope.
It's weird how sometimes people could be so like, you know, them like up here, but they're just like, they're right here with you.
Everyone's a regular dude,
It's crazy.
Everyone is, And just remembering that when you get in the lab or when you work with people, that they're just a regular dude.
Right.
You know?
Right. So, you know, who is your influences, you know, growing up and coming of age and writing and stuff? Who's people that, you know, you looked at like that were doing it that, you know, it could be in the mainstream or just local. I don't know.
Both mainstream and local. Mainstream artist, number one's definitely Lupe Fiasco. The way his schemes and how technical he is with his writing, that's literally, I'm a clone of it. You know, that's me. People would hate to hear this, but it's kind of like I'm a hybrid of Lupe and Drake. You know, like I'm very conversational.
Yeah.
I slow flow a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm a content artist. But I try to be clever with it like Lupe would be.
Yeah.
Fonte from Little Brother is a really, really huge one for me. And I'd say my style is kind of a mix of those three artists, you know, and anytime I deviate from that, it's intentionally to deviate from that.
Yeah, because you've changed up the cadence, like in what was that track? The one with the tennis player,
Pete Sampras.
Yes, you changed up the whole cadence. I was like, wait, is this the same guy? Is this Jay Casai? And then you changed it all up. Like, what was the thought behind that? Like, did you just feel like that worked with the track better? Or?
So what's funny is that song is with a guy named Gems. So the music video is just me, but the full song has Gems on the second verse.
Okay.
And Gems is a tennis player. He's a close friend of mine, and me and him, he comes to my house and we're not playing tennis. He's like, "You want to make a song?" I'm like, "Let's do it." All right, let's do it. And the only time he makes appearances in music is when he's with me. So, usually I ask him, "What do you want to make?" And he comes with some 21 Savage beat or some Migos beat, something I never get on, but I'm never going to say no. So on all my projects, if you see a song with Gems involved, it's me going left every time, you know? And so crazy. We have Savage on Kasai Tape 2. We have Pete Sampras on Volume 1.
Savage was crazy too.
Yeah, and Savage is another, it's like a Travis Scottish kind of beat, and we're doing you know, we're changing the flows up, and he just brings that out of me. And I'm a student, so I know how to do every style of hip hop there is, and I can do them pretty well. I just don't naturally, so I have to collaborate sometimes to get it out of me. But yeah, so
and you guys did a remix of that track too, the one with I keep forgetting the name of the tennis player, but I know he's big.
Curios, Sampras.
Yeah.
He's Sampras.
Yeah, dude, I think you guys did a remix version.
Yeah, there's two versions. There's like the regular trap version we made originally, and then we went to Oh Gosh and did the Pete Sampras remix.
Okay.
And that's the one where I own the rights to the beat, and so we put that on streaming services and stuff. But the music video is the original version, with just my verse, because I didn't have Gems there for the music video shoot, so I just shot a shorter version with my cameraman, Mark Galang, who's also a tennis player, so he knew what to film and how to cut it. So it's just like, man.
Yeah, it looked like almost like a tennis commercial, like sometimes. Just like, whoosh, like perfect shots.
Yeah, so it was pretty sick to, coincidentally, all these people who do music with me or work with me on my music stuff are tennis players, you know.
That's funny.
So it came together perfectly, and I feel like I had to have at least one record like that.
I was going to say I played tennis too. For Save That City, or the SIT IE, you know, can you talk about this? This one's a more kind of closer project of yours.
Yeah.
Top Floor, I think, was one of the standout ones for me. I really liked that one a lot. I think you went off to, again, there's always like a track that you really go off here. Those aren't friends to me. Those are my enemies. Show them energy, focus my synergy. They grew legs like a centipede. Way focused on my chemistry, focus these tendencies. Like, dude, I didn't know you were such a lyricist like this. Like, I didn't know. It kind of caught me off guard, you know, because I told you I was watching your podcast first, and then it comes to this. I'm like, what? But can you talk a little bit about that project? Grandma Said was also another asterisk I put on this as well. Can you talk about that project? Just like how did it formulate? And I know you also had that on the cover. The cover is also relatable too, because we've obviously had a lot of fires and stuff.
Yeah, it was during the fires time too that I kind of did that. So Save the City for me it's a little more surface level. It's a little more shallow of a project overall, but the concept essentially is just, when a lot of bad music's coming out or when a lot of unpolished stuff's being done, bringing something to the table that has it all, some content, some substance, some value, and packaging it all up and offering it to the city, right? Yeah. And making sure there's something that represents us that's done well. That's the basic concept, right? Which is a little arrogant to say because there's a lot of great music coming out from the city. So, but it's my offering to it. Yeah, it's my offering. So, and then it's also all my albums have like this movie in my head that they're also like, if I were to make a film, this is what the film would be.
Yeah, it kind of looked like
it's a zombie movie. Yeah. So Save the City is also the zombie movie.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Which I'll never dive into all that part of it, but it's what I visualize when I listen to the project. And if you listen to Top Floor, you'll hear like there's some zombie-esque sounds in it and stuff like that. And so that would be like the song for it that would really go with it. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, Save the City. I really like Save the City a lot. I feel like my flows are the craziest they've ever been on the project. Grandma Said is like super content heavy. And then West Side's how experimental we can really get. Top Floor to me is just showing I know the formula. Like I know how to make a song sound hot, and CJ is on every song because he was just in the studio when we made all the songs.
That's cool.
And CJ is elite. He's so good at everything. If he's on your song, it gets better. It's just that's how good he is, so it just worked well. It's Oh Gosh, Nabian, who are the best producers from the IE that aren't Hit Boy. Yeah. If you ask me, even better than Hit Boy, but tomato, doesn't matter how you want to go about it. But yeah, and then bringing in CJ, it's basically a mini OE album, and it came out amazing. So I'm super happy with it.
Yeah, it's really dope. I really like that a lot. I found this interesting. You were on a project called Circles. Totally different. Like we're talking about.
You know whose project that is? That's Gems, the tennis player I go left with.
So now it connects and makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this one was different from what I heard from you. And it was cool because, like you said, you could adapt to all these. And it shows that you could.
Yeah.
Because that beat was like almost like an EDM beat, like almost. But
oh, you're talking about
that's in
Sad Bunny.
Yeah.
Sad
Bunny.
Yeah. And these are all instrumentals Gems chooses. He tells me the concept. He tells me what we're doing. I just facilitate it, help him with the visuals, package it, do the cover art. I mix it. I write with him. We sit in the studio and we just work. But he's the director. These are his ideas we're doing. So he wanted Sad Bunny because he's in the club. He's a DJ.
Yeah.
Gems is an actual DJ. So he wants the Sad Bunny, and he's also a guitar acoustic guy, an emo guy. So all these songs are whiny, Blink-182 sounding stuff. And I'm game, I'm never going to say no. So we make these songs, and it's a fun adventure for me to do that kind of stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like Common. There was a period where Common, I think,
Universal Mind Control
does like that circus one.
Yeah.
And it was like everybody was like, hey, what are you doing? Like come back to like but it's kind of cool to kind of go there.
It's a blessing to be able to step outside and try something, and we can always get back where we came from. But as an artist, if you're not doing that, are you really creating? Get in there and try things and take risks.
Yeah, that's really dope. Can you talk a little bit about Only 9? I thought that was really important of a single there, to have, all you guys come on this track, bombard this track, and like deliver something really meaningful.
Yeah.
I mean, the hook kind of says it all.
Yeah.
If you're really from the 9, you should say something. Really got to grind if you came from it. We on a different time, never ate nothing. It's really only 9, like a
fake thumb.
Fake thumb.
Yeah.
Oh, that over my head.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan, that's crazy.
It's a little cheesy, but I try to deliver it not cheesy. So yeah.
I thought that track was cool because like it was representing, representing. And I thought that was dope. Can you talk a little bit about like that coming together and that forming and what that means to the IE just coming together,
Yeah, I've always felt that I'm a middle ground person in the IE. I don't belong to any section or style or crew or clique or anything. And, you know, we've always had kind of like the backpack conscious side, which is kind of like the Common Ground, the Cam Gnarlies, the Noah James, you know, that side of the scene. And they've been around a long time doing what they do. Then there's this other side, and it's like the Dudas, the Deuces, maybe the people who are on the outskirts and have their own in-house production and don't really mingle with the rest. And I've always felt like I'm the guy who is connected to everyone, and I work with everyone. I know everyone. I have relationships with everyone. And so I kind of take pride in doing these posse cuts where I bring people from each section together on one song.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then I don't make it a song where we go to war with each other. I make it a song where we have to talk about something, slow it down. No one would do a posse cut at 85 BPM like that. You know, like no one's rapping that slow in a posse cut because they want to make an anthem, right? But I'm like, let's make a slow anthem. Yeah. Let's create an IE anthem that's actually us really speaking about this, you know, and that's what Only 9 is. And I try to do one of those for every project I make. There's a posse cut like that. Different Sides is one. Yeah. I'm Not Alone is one.
Oh yeah. Okay, I noticed that now. Okay.
There's one of those on every project where I bring everyone in. Feel Important, the OE remix is on Kasai Tape 2. Oh yeah. Where everyone from OE basically has to say the worst things in their life happening right now for 20 bars straight.
I love that when there's a theme behind the posse cut. Yeah. Because that keeps everybody kind of focused.
It's cohesive, right? Yeah.
And you get to see their perspectives to the same theme, which is also kind of cool. I love that.
Yeah, and also just how can all of us interpret this beat differently? What pockets will we find? What styles will we do? And me trying to not use the same people every time I do one of these songs. Oh, okay, so Bandamp Threat, Truly, Waju, Cam Gnarly, these are all people I don't have records with, you know? So this is the first time we work together. Cam Archer's on everything I've ever done. We have an album together. So me and Cam Archer have 1,000 records. So we've got another album's worth of music waiting right now.
Super
you know,
talented too.
Yeah, I mean he's one of the best. So that's kind of what the rationale is behind Only 9. It was another posse cut. How can we make this different? How can we make this cohesive? And also, I wanted to have my contribution to what it is to make an IE song. You know, so. Because we've got a lot of lit songs, we got a lot of West Side Dino type songs. We've got slow like summer boom bap. Yeah. But I want like winter boom bap, you know, so something real cold and chilly to rap over. So
have you ever stumbled upon any, like just searching on YouTube of like an artist you've never seen, but they have a music video and they're doing all this stuff? I've seen it for Rialto a few times.
Yeah, Rialto has actually got a lot of them. But the funny thing is I know most of those guys, like Stacks and all those guys. And they did numbers, you know, they've done numbers with those records. So, but I didn't want to do what they've already done. So that's why I did this version of it. But yeah, you're right. There's some guys who've done it really well and they did it big. So.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I was going to ask you, so you mentioned about Cam Archer and stuff. Did you guys, like, I know you guys go back, like how far back is that? Like is from like school days or?
No, he's probably one of the last people I met for the most part that I really, really work with like that. Okay. I met him in 2013 or 14, somewhere around there. And he was in a group called Half Valve E&T. I was in Dying Breed, and that's when we formulated OE at that time. We created we had a big merger meeting, like 4 different crews all met up at a Carl's Jr. in like Riverside, and we all talked about what we could bring to the table, why we should agree to this meeting and combining. And some groups opted out, you know, and you know the people who did are what OE is now. So there are some crews that were sitting in that room and today either don't make music or they still do as their own entity and stuff like that. But yeah, me and Cam Archer, ever since then, Cam is just so easy to work with. Yeah. He's so easy to work with. He's an absolute machine. He can write to anything, write any style, match the mood. He shows up. He's consistent. So for me, I'm like, this is what I need. So I work with him. We did the Midnight Run album. Yeah, we did the Midnight Run podcast. We've done everything we've done together for the most part.
So that was a podcast too?
Yeah, the Midnight Run is originally a podcast.
Oh, wow, okay.
Super successful for what it was. Wow. We did 140 episodes.
Oh, dang. Okay,
yeah, and it had real fans. You know, like
that's more than we got right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
We were doing an episode every single week, and it was me, Cam Archer, and True Speech.
That's dope.
And then CJ came in from OE and was our camera person helping us do the visual ones where we did the midnight warm-up snippets. We were a team. You know, we did everything as a group, and eventually that kind of met its expiration date. Yeah. But me and Cam had always talked about doing the album for that concept as well, which is supposed to be you getting in the car, turning on the radio.
It feels like that for what you made of it, because I know you kind of like how to piece it together in 2020.
Yeah.
But for what you did, I could never tell. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I would have thought like, no, this was like fully executed, you know.
Yeah.
I would have never known.
We have an all-star team, genuinely. You know, I don't know how much you know about Nabian and Ogosh.
Is Nabian the one making beats? Or?
Yeah, he's a producer. Ogosh is a producer.
Ogosh, yeah.
They're the most successful members of our group. You know, they're platinum. They're on Drake's album, Kanye's album.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're on the radio. They're SZA, Travis Scott. You know, they're out of this universe. You know, and they're so grounded and humble. You know, and still local, and they still work with us. You know, since before that, I've known Nabian since I was 11 or 12. That's sick. You know, so we have a really genuine, normal friendship. You know, we talk more about other stuff than music. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things where all of us working together makes it so that even if we scrap together old songs, I can send them to those guys. They'll update the beat. I give to Cam, he updates the verse, you know, and I bring it in, update the mix before you know it, it's a new song again. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause in that album you had even the whole skits, you know, of it being like a radio show, which was cool. Like, you know, it sounded like that, which was pretty dope. So yeah, the whole theme of that was, and that props to you too, because on the albums I noticed you executed the theme pretty well. The concept, like it penetrates through, the message comes through.
Thanks.
So that I want to say props to that. Can you talk about just you know, performing? You know, I don't know when the last time you performed was, but just, you know, any memorable performances that you had that you remember.
For sure.
That are cool stories.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a very active performer. Like, I was performing on a regular basis all the time. That's how I got in the scene. The scene is just the artists who want to do shows. That was what the scene essentially was. Yeah. So it started with when I was in the Dying Breed group with Stevie Dub, and Stevie Dub was kind of our tour manager, basically. He did all of our booking. And he was just a networking machine. You know, he would just reach out to people, meet people. We were doing shows for families and inside hotel buildings. I don't know how he got these shows. Now that I look back, I'm like, how did we get in these places? He had us at artist showcases. He had us performing at the Puerto Rican festival in like San Jose or something.
Damn, that's crazy.
I was like, I still don't know to this day how we got some of these gigs, but he would get us booked. We'd go up there. And when I tell you we've done hundreds of shows, well, I should say. Like I feel super comfortable on a stage at this point. I'm pretty passionate about my live show. So, you know, I don't perform over vocals. I need my sound to be a certain way. I know how to hold a microphone and project and sound clean. And that comes with a lot of trial and error. You know, that's how I learned that. A lot of bad shows. Right. You know, I've personally done a lot of bad performances to get to being able to do a good one. Yeah. But it's also how I can recognize a good one when I see one, you know, and I go, this is why he's good. This is how I know he's good. I want to reach out to this guy and do more shows with him.
That's dope.
And when I put on a show, you'll recognize, wow, sounds good. The setup's good. Like whoever put this together cared. Yeah. It's because I've done so many of them myself. Yeah. And I've done some bad shows where whoever was running it was terrible. And I've done some great shows where I'm like, man, I'm grateful to just be on this stage. I don't care if I got paid or not. This is so awesome. Yeah. So, you know, that's part of the reason why I'm so good at putting on a good event. My last show was probably for, I don't know if you've heard of Curtis King.
Yes.
But I executive produced Curtis King's DIY 2 project.
Oh, okay.
I think as kind of like a shaking of hands back, he booked me to open at his release show at Firewater.
Oh, that's cool. That's
so I opened up for him at that event. And yeah, that was the last show I've done. And I kind of wasn't doing shows anymore, but I wasn't going to say no to him. You know, that was a great opportunity, so I did it. Yeah. And before that, I did a show in Lake Havasu at some type of bar and grill place.
That was dope.
And it was dope because they bring people out, you know, it's Lake Havasu, so there's people there. But yeah, I'm actually planning to come back out to the forefront and do some really, really big shows this year. Yeah,
so that leads me to, like, you know, you're working on a new project.
Yeah.
You are. Can you just talk? You don't have to go all into detail about, like, but just a little bit of like what's on your mind, what's cooking up. You know?
I'll tell you everything.
Okay.
I'm not
even better.
I used to be enigmatic. Now I'm an open book. So I'm doing a project called Losing Time, and it's like losing/time, and it's a conceptual project. So it's an album about loss. It's an album about the theory of time and the science of time, and then running out of time. You know, which you can look at as me getting older. You can look at it as literally just urgency. But every single song feeds into one of those three concepts. And all the records the track list is done. The cover art's done. I just am missing vocals, a verse or two here and there. But it's got Mikey Rocks from the Cool Kids. It's got Charles Hamilton. It's got Cam Archer. It's loaded. Yeah. And the music is so good. Like, I'm so proud of it. I'm looking forward to dropping it. It's going to drop this year. Once that comes out, I'm going to do my final show it's going to be the like release of that album show, my final show. It's going to be everything in one. So I'm hoping to get everyone outside for it. It's going to be special.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Especially because, what I was telling you about earlier about the project I'm working on, also dealing with going back in time. Like, that's sick.
Yeah.
I love that, man. And I definitely hope that to be there when that drops. That'd be amazing. Can you talk a little bit about, you're a part of Empire now, right?
Only Empire now, yeah.
Can you just talk about, even just like the last award show?
Yeah.
Just kind of, I know we covered it a little bit, but just kind of talking more about it and what that meant and, and just what that experience was like, actually seeing it executed and coming through.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just the connective tissue of making sure all these people show up to one place at the same time. That's kind of my role in it, which is, the people I'm super close friends with versus maybe the people, there's like a degree of separation between me and them, but there's someone we're both really close to I can use to get them there. And I'm on the phone an hour a day almost going into that event, making sure people know what's going on. They're going to be there. We really make it special. This is an event that's got free drinks, open bar. There's either free food or cheap food. There's a red carpet, a team of medias behind it, a team of people who our only goal is just making sure artists get recognized and treated like they're at the Grammys. That's it. That's the goal of it. And, this requires getting a venue that can fulfill that, a stage that can fulfill that, putting together a programming and itinerary, and also making sure you call all the right people. And then the most important part, the right people get nominated and win, right? Because you could do all of it right, and if that's wrong, the show loses its credibility. So, I just try to make sure that all those moving pieces align and work together, and what would it mean to have a Verse of the Year award if people like Cam Archer and Duda, who go viral on the internet every single year for their verses, aren't nominees? What would it mean if they're not even in the building, and those things are important. So, Producer of the Year, the first year, Hit Boy, he has to be involved, Hit Boy won. Hit Boy's whole family showed up and accepted the award on his behalf while he was overseas,
Right.
Making sure those moments happen, they create the legitimacy of the event.
Yeah.
It can't just be all the indie buddies together sharing trophies.
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge that there are super great people in the IE who aren't in town, Yeah. It's just what it is. And we have to recognize that in order for, if Cam Gnarly wins something, we need to know that he was competing with the IE, not just other local acts. So it's really important for me to have perspective on that. So it's a big deal.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. Just seeing the media coverage on it too. I mean, it makes you proud to be from the IE.
Yeah.
That we have a growing collective that are about it, in the art and really trying to create something meaningful, which is cool.
We don't make it. We just lose money all year. That's all. We lose money doing this stuff. Like, we have never made anything off it. We try to pay artists for anything that we ask them to do. We try to make it really for the artists. We're nonprofit. To it, we're beyond nonprofit. We're pro debt basically. So like, I'll lose money to make sure sounds good. I'll lose money to make sure there's a long red carpet. Our venue offered us a 20-foot red carpet, but the red carpet need to be 30 feet. So I bought one. We do stuff like that, or we need media there. I'll bring my own cameras and my friends, if I have to, and call in favors, and stuff like that. And we do whatever it takes, and we give everyone a plaque because being nominated should be a blessing as well. Just being recognized is so important, right? So, and making sure
it inspires only greater, like, because next year around, somebody's gonna be pinning like, man, okay, let me step up. Let me make it better now because this could potentially win something, like, so that's cool.
It's a reason to release, right? It's a reason to drop. And also, once you get in the room, you're shaking hands with all these people.
Meeting new people.
You're meeting these people, networking. So just being invited, because it's invite only. Just being there is a blessing as well, right? So that's why I take the scarcity part so seriously, right? Like the Juneteenth event is like 1/10 of what the award show was, you know?
Yeah.
So I look forward to this next one where we've got the biggest following we've ever had so far, and we keep growing.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to see what happens this year.
Yeah, that's dope. And things happening, you know, because I know that's not the only thing you guys do,
Yeah.
you know, is that event, but things that happen in between that, you know, what does that look like?
It varies year to year. Like after year one, it was a FOMO thing. A lot of people went, wow, I missed out on that. I didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah.
You know, but we said, hey, don't worry about it. Submit your music for the next one. In the meantime, we partner with the city. We're getting people paid gigs. We're getting people paid shows with the city, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All of our resources that we could probably take for ourselves and get paid by the city to perform it ourselves, we don't. We hand them off and we just pass things forward and push it forward. And this year we got to run Juneteenth.
Yeah,
Next year, maybe we'll run a bigger festival. The year before, we gave our Album of the Year winner, Sonny Babel, a headlining paid gig to perform on the big stage at a festival.
That's cool.
And we'll do other things like galas, tiny desks events, writing camps, labs, stuff like that, giving people access to everything that they need. And this kind of just speaks to what I was telling you before, is you meet someone with all the talent in the world, but none of the resources.
Yeah, right.
You know, and we have all of them right here. Let me just give them to you. You deserve it. From the IE.
Yeah,
you know?
that's dope.
Yeah, so that's our overall mission, is just to help people.
Oh, and just last question here. You know, how do you see that growing? You know, because already it's awesome what you guys are doing, but where do you envision that?
I mean, for me, the goal would be to just make sure, like at bare minimum, we want to get the award show as large as it can be. We want to do a festival that's comparable to the Rolling Louds, Coachella, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But keep it IE, you know? And I think that as these things grow, more people will come out the woodworks, you know, because we have the talent base already. Yeah. We have hundreds of artists, all genres, you know, bringing them out. And then also doing the smaller stuff, like the internet stuff, the media stuff, the social media stuff. If you're an artist, bringing you into a tiny desk environment where I already have a band for you and they know your music and you just got to perform, we'll film it, record it, and package it for you and give it to you. Yeah. And giving all these things away, you know, and what's stopping us from blowing up if everyone had these tools, you know? So doing quarterly events, doing, you know, something every 2 to 3 months, that would be great.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And see, that's why, you know, for those listening, that's why I was saying, you know, it's so much more than even the music, the sacrifice and stuff that you guys are putting into this. And it takes a team. It's not just you, but it's your team.
Yeah.
You know, that's helping put that together. It's awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just want to thank you, you know, for being a guest here today, man. It was
thanks
really
for having
dope.
me, man.
The music is also sick. It's out there. If you guys want to check it out, what's the best place they could go to actually listen to it for you?
YouTube is where everything is available, but I put things out. You know what's funny? And this is something no one really knows, but I use Audius. And Audius is this streaming service that has a smaller following, but I put everything, the street versions, the rough versions, the deluxe packaged ones, everything's on there. So if you want to hear everything for free, no ads, raw, like my real music, you can go to Audius and look me up. If you want to support me, you can go to Bandcamp and buy everything, and it'll go straight to me. And I put extended versions, expansion versions, everything's on Bandcamp. Midnight Run has 5 extra songs on Bandcamp. God's Complex is 14 songs on Bandcamp. Everything's bigger and better on Bandcamp. But, you know, Bandcamp, no one likes using it. No one wants to download and move it to their phone. So Audius is the good solution for that. If you download that app, follow me as Jay Casai in there. Everything from Bandcamp is there as well. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
Well, Jay Casai, thank you again for being on the show, man. Appreciate it. Thanks again.
Thank you, man.
Dude, for those checking us out, make sure to check out his music. Check out everything that's going on here with IE Now. That's like Empire Now. That's man, it's really revolutionary. It's dope that's happening. And yeah, good game. There's a lot of talented artists out here.
Yes, there are,
including yourself. So appreciate it. We're dropping episodes every Monday. You guys know that. Please feel free to share, subscribe, comment, recommend album that you would like us to cover, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.